Is that Oliver? I shall take the reins. You are relieved, General. As you wish, Your Highness. What? You can't be. You've got to be shitting me. I believe this is our first formal acquaintance, Princess Claudia. Oliver Van Arnor, son of His Majesty, Emperor Eugene III. What? One of the sons? He's an imperial prince? Shara, did you know about this? You're kidding, right? I thought it was just some sort of agent for imperial intelligence. Oliver Rhys Arnor? I recognize the name, but I don't know the man. Huh. Even though I am a prince, I'm little more than a royal bastard. I rarely attend to public matters of state, so I'm unsurprised that you don't know my face. It still does sting a little, though, I fear. For the lovely girl who was once to be my bride to not even know my face, an arrow, my heart. What? There are no other words. I see. That's what Colonel Richard had in his mind a while back. I'm sorry. I was unaware. Allow me to apologize for the slight against you. Well, I do understand it was conducted without the Queen's consent. That sort of slight we can overlook. But this? No. Erebonia cannot overlook this. My enchanting princess, are you aware, I wonder, of a little rumor making its rounds across our great empire? I don't believe I am. Allow me to tell you then. Rumor has it that an immense structure in the distance is Liberal's new weapon. What? Liberal has developed a ground-based new weapon that allows them to stop orbital energy. They intend to use it to make us pay for the war 10 years ago. It's a rumor which finds fertile ground in the ears of our citizens and leadership. It can't be. That's absolutely untrue. We would never. Then you can prove it, yes? Prove that it's a misunderstanding? If you cannot, then we must act upon the evidence of our senses. Indeed, if the rumors are true, this is a monstrous betrayal of all civilization, using the pact to hide your intentions. What choice would we have, then, but to be defenders of the free world? Okay, what the hell is this, Oliver? Stell. You can't just stand here, listen to you blather on as you please. Oliver, you know damn well what's going on here. Why are you being such a jerk? Stell, wait. Have we met? You seem to know me, even if you do not get the name quite right. Did we meet at a party once? Huh? No, you lack the refinement of nobility. Yes, no matter how I look at you, you must be nothing more than a commoner. So who are you? Okay, fine then. You want to play dumb no matter what? You aren't the only one who could burst out of surprise. Oh? My name is Estelle Bright. I'm a B-rank bracer of the Bracer Guild of Liberal. In accordance with the laws of the guild, I'm involving myself in this dispute as a neutral arbitrator. Estelle? Oh, I see. You're a bracer. B-rank. That'd make you a veteran bracer who could be trusted with an arbitration of this scope. But trying to say you can't trust a bracer's word, Prince Olivert? Not at all, forgive me. So what do you intend to do about our little situation, neutral arbitrator? From the evidence, I judge that Erebonia's claim is false. The floating city is not a Liberalian weapon. I swear it on the honor of the Bracer Guild's supporting gauntlet. Oh, on the honor of the Guild's emblem itself? A bold statement. Certainly, a statement from the Bracer Guild holds enough weight that it cannot be ignored outright. However, I shall pose the same question to you then, Mrs. Bright. What's your evidence of this claim? Evidence? What we've seen for ourselves. The group which made the floating city appear as the criminal society of Ouroboros, which is still operating liberal. We of the guild have been cooperating with the Royal Army, trying to stop the society's operations. Heck, if you like, we can have records of everything forwarded to the imperial government. That would certainly satisfy our need for evidence against liberal possible malfeasance. However, you have, I think, missed a key point, Miss Bright. Assuming, then, that the perpetrators are the Society of Ouroboros, are Liberal and the Guild capable of putting a stop to this crisis? Well, if you do not, then the Empire will not sit here wringing its hands. The weaponry we have brought, including the cannons of our tanks, all use gunpowder. Would that not be perfect for laying siege to and destroying this little rogue city of yours? You've got to be joking. What'll cannons do against something that big? Huh, you never know until you try, Miss Bright. Regardless, I can say one thing for sure. You do not have the ability to put a stop to our goodwill, or our need to defend ourselves. Well then, Prince Oliver, would action satisfy? If we can prove that we can, even in these circumstances, do something about that city. Would you give us the time to do so? Well, I suppose that for some time at least, civility would force our hand. My prince. Calm down, General. Consider it the bare minimum of courtesy to a minor power we have a pact with. This assumes it can even prove anything. As you wish. So then, if you can show me you have some hope of stopping all this, our forces will withdraw. On the crest of the Golden Stallion, and my name is a member of the Arnor family, I swear it. Good! That came through loud and clear. What? That voice? Is that? No doubt about it. Now you're really kidding me. Dad. Oh, Cassius? Are we just gonna land on top of the army? Where are the tanks and everybody at? This is our proof, men of Erebonia. Feel free to feast your eyes upon it. Dad! Cassius Bright? It's been a while, Zix. They finally gave you a second star, I see. That's beside the point. Why are you here? And what is that ship? How is it capable of flying? That, unfortunately, is a national secret. Rather like those steam tanks of yours, I would say. So this is the Arisel, is it? And you must be the famed Cassius Bright. I believe this is the first time we've had an audience, Your Highness. Strange, though. I feel as if we've met somewhere before. How curious, General Bright. I was just thinking the same thing. How very curious. Isn't it, though? My prince! Miss Bright, Princess Claudia. I'm a proud member of the Erebonian imperial family. I'll keep my word. General, have all our forces withdraw from this area immediately. Oliver, you have our gratitude, Prince Oliver. Still, though, my dear citizens will doubtlessly not be satisfied with mere possibility being presented to them. Perhaps I could board the Arisel and observe for myself. Prince Oliver? A good idea. I'm sure everyone in the imperial government would be satisfied with the prince as a witness. Princess Claudia, shall we? Of course. I see no reason to object. I'm sure this will only further strengthen the bond of friendship between Erebonia and Liberal. Welcome aboard, Prince Oliver. Prince Oliver, what have you done? You finally strided on the public stage for the first time in ages and you engaged in this charade? I suppose we were too transparent at the end. Transparent like air. To think that a prince of the Empire would plan something like this in Liberal. Mueller, how could you let this happen? Forgive me, Uncle. But do you really think this idiot would even listen if I asked him to stop? Well, besides, there are elements of this which do not sit easily on my conscience. I learned all about the truth behind Hamel during the mess. So you did know. Huh, how could he not know? Even back then, he was a critical part of the military chain of command. My shame is... No, Zakes, I do not blame you. It was a subsection of the Warhawks. I know you had nothing to do with it. A scandal so vile that information about it had to be tightly controlled. I do not agree with the logic, but I understand it. Seal up that which stinks and bury it forever. Those who rule remain in power unblemished. However, I cannot allow the same trick to be played twice. Zix, you realized it yourself, I'm sure. The incredibly fortuitous addition of these steam tanks to our arsenal, the convenient orders to sortie. Every bit of it has the fingerprints of the blood and iron Chancellor himself, Gileath Osborne. What are you? He is in contact with Ouroboros. I no longer doubt it, and personally, I find the idea of a Chancellor whose first loyalty is not to the Empire rather repugnant, don't you? My prince, you can't possibly. But I do indeed. The former military man who has become the Empire's central politician after rising to prominence 10 years ago. The cold-blooded, bold reformer who laid rails to the Empire and has annexed many of our neighbors through force of arms. I have decided to slay the beloved monster which has made its nest in our empire. You may call all of this my declaration of war. Unbelievable. My prince, do you even realize what you're attempting to accomplish? I like to tell myself I do at least. He's not only politically strong, but he has de facto control of easily 7/10 of the military. Putting aside neutral people like yourself, all who stand against him are the nation's feudal lords, and the influence weakens by the day. Worse still, my father's trust in him is nearly absolute. The very picture of a monster, I would say. Then why even? Is it not obvious? Because the way he acts is not beautiful. What? My eyes were opened as I traveled Liberal. People and countries are at their greatest when they're proud of themselves. And I wish for my people, my fatherland, to feel the same pride. to be proud of accomplishments, not conquests. I hope you can understand, Zakes. My prince, you become quite a man. As they say, only an unwatched pot will boil. It's been 7 years since you took me under your wing to teach me what you knew, Zakes. I simply learned to apply what you taught me when you weren't looking. Indeed. Very well, I'll pull my forces back. I must remind you, however, that the 3rd Division was merely the vanguard. Osborne is mustering another 10 divisions in the capital. 3 days, and then they march. That's your deadline. We'll act with all haste, Zakes. Mueller, you going with Prince Olivier, I take it? If things go poorly, bring him back, even if you have to drag him by his collar. I imagine I'll have to do so either way. Men, fall out. We're withdrawing to Parme. There will await new orders. They're going to Grandia? I want to go to Grandia. And so, we managed to buy ourselves a little bit of time at least. Really though, no one trusts me, it seems. My lamentations truly are ceaseless. Of course they don't, you nitwit. Even I didn't think you had something like this in you. As they say, if you're going to play your cards, throw in all your chips. Besides, you certainly did a good job in arranging all the pieces. You could say we're partners in crime, confederates of love, bees of a flower who have shared the sweetest of honey. I am armed, Olivier. Oliver! Estelle! Brilliantly done. Brilliantly done, my entire butt! Would you please explain what in the hell's going on? Why, it's exactly as it looks. There was something rotten in the state of Erebonia. I simply dragged it up onto the stage. The stage. And the rest of us couldn't get a peek at the script? As they truly say, if you wish to deceive your foes, deceive your friends. Having the Arisel show up after you negotiate us into a corner. That was the plan Cassius Bright and I came up with. Dad and Oliver, I should have known. Once Dad showed up, I thought that might be it. That was the idea, at least. And here comes the deceitful jerk number 2. That's a little cruel, don't you think? I was listening in by phone. You handled those negotiations expertly. Thanks to you, the arrival of the Arisel had all the impact that it needed. Listening in by what? Of course, that artifact of yours. Oh, my dear Shara, no more of that, please. It'd be a little problematic if he heard about. A little too late on that score, Prince. Man, everybody's showing up. It's Julia, Russell, Kevin? Kevin's here too. Julia as well. Your Highness, I heard about the attack on the capital. I'm very glad to see that you're safe. I'm sorry, Julia. I can only imagine how worried you must have been. Well, part of it's my fault. If I'd finished the Arisel's upgrades, we could have come to help out ourselves. Unfortunately, zero-field reinforcing the most advanced airship in the world took a while, if you can believe it. Still, glad to see everybody safe. Yeah, hang on. How is the Arisel flying? You made a zero-field generator big enough for the entire ship? Yes, indeed. The ones I gave you are prototypes I'd whipped up to help design a large-scale version. I've been locked up in the Arisel ever since you left, and now it's finally ready. I see. So in other words, every last bit of this was set up by Dad. Come now, don't say it like I'm a criminal. I simply did what I could to make it easy for you to act. You did this because you wanted to, yes? Well, technically I guess, but... Oh, I don't quite get why you're here though, Kevin. Right. While I was at the cathedral, word came in from the Gralsritter higher-ups. They've been hitting the books. I think they've got a good picture on what kind of thing the Aurora is and how to end this mess. And once I told Cassius about this, I got hogtied and brought out here. Well, what? What the Aurora is? Yeah, so... First of all, the Aurora isn't that floating city itself, really. We think it's an artifact within the city that provides the whole thing with orbital power and helps control the flow of it. The Gospels are basically like distribution thingies for it. An ancient power source for the city. But then, why is it causing all the orbments to shut down? Now we're getting into guesswork, but a couple of really old legends talk about the Aurora striking down threats to the Chosen, meaning all of our modern orbments are being seen by it as threats to the Chosen. Disabling any possible threat in this area of influence is a defense mechanism essentially. It seems extremely likely, and really, this gives us a ray of hope. Do something about the entire city would be difficult at best due to its sheer size, but if we can find the actual Aurora somewhere within the city, we may be able to find a way to deal with it. I see. That is an idea. It sounds like a plan at least. Yes, it seems as though our final goal is well set for us. We should board the Arisel and make our way to the Flying City with all haste. The decision to use the Arisel must come from the royal family. Princess, shall we? You don't need to ask. Captain Schwartz, prepare the Arisel for launch. We're heading for the Flying City above Valeria Lake. At once, Your Highness. And to my bracer friends, please, everyone, lend your aid to Liberal in our hour of need. This mission will likely be the last one of the crisis. Well, saying that like it's even a question if we'll go, this is something we should leave up to our leader. Leader? Estelle. We mean you, of course. What? Why so shocked, Estelle? We all do have our own stake in this, yes, but one way or another, we've just been tagging along in this wild ride of yours. So in that sense, Estelle, you're definitely our leader. Still not quite ready for it? No, she is. No matter how grim it gets, Estelle never loses hope. That light's always there to guide me, to guide us. That's why only Estelle could ever be our leader. Joshua, not helping! Estelle, your face is red as a beet. Okay, I get it. Chloe, the guild accepts your mission. We'll find the Aurora on the floating city and save Liberal. Thank you. Good, that's finally settled. Now I can get back to headquarters. Dad, you're not coming with us? I'm afraid I can't. They may have retreated for now, and I trust Zakes to keep his word, but we can't ignore the larger Erebonian threat. It's not just Hawk and Gate. They could use non-orbital powered vessels to invade by sea. I also wouldn't be surprised if the Society attempts another raid on Grand Cell. I can't leave the Royal Army with all of this going on. I get it. I'll do my best. With Joshua, with everyone. So Dad, try not to kill yourself with work, okay? It'll be a struggle, but don't worry. And Joshua, let me give this to you. Oh, I wonder what that is. A letter? Call it a father's heart. It's between men, so it might be a little shocking for Estelle. Gentle reminder that I'm right here and I still have my staff. I'll read it when I have time, Dad. Please do. For the love of, I seriously do not get the guy stuff like this. Don't be so harsh, Estelle. I'm taking some time off once this is over. I intend to spend a lot of time at home once I can. Estelle, make sure we can all share some omelet rice then, alright? Yeah, you bet. And off we go towards the Flying City, towards the Aurora. Sometime this century, Grandmother Moses, let's get moving. Are you sure, Cassius? If you're that worried, you could have gone with them, you know. No, it's fine. Weissman is even more dangerous than I thought he would be. If I accompanied them, I would simply be painting a target on their heads. Yes, if you were out in the open, he'd strike at your ankle like the snake that he is. The price of fame, It is maddeningly frustrating, let me tell you. Of course, this is also what gives us a chance to strike. A game of truth and lies as the two of you try to read each other. Speaking of lies, do you think the Blood and Iron Chancellor will really hold back? As powerful as he is, he can't gainsay an oath from Prince Oliver easily. As long as we don't give them any more of an opening, I think we'll be safe. I hope so. Everything rests on the team aboard Arisel then. Yes. Lena, great benevolent Adios of the sky, shine down where your children must walk, please. That beneath this enormous sky, they might find the path they seek. And thus ends Chapter 8, Land of Chaos. Yeah, I do want to save. It has been quite some time. We got an achievement, Land of Chaos. Sweet!